What kind of porn do you prefer? Well, hey you guys, what's up? It's me, Tyler. Hi there, how y'all doing? Okay, enough of the greetings. I decided to make a coming out video, give myself questions to go off of. I'm just gonna answer the question and move on, like interview style. When did I come out? When I was living in LA, officially. I'm just one of those people where I don't really care to explain myself to people. And if you find out something, you find out something. If you know, you know. It wasn't necessarily hiding. But when I was in California, I was like, okay, I'm probably gonna start dating now. Let me just tell my family what's up before I possibly get a boyfriend or something. How was growing up bisexual in Mississippi? It was very confusing because I didn't know what bisexuality was until college. I had heard like the word every now and then in like late high school. It was still just seen as another word for gay. I took a gender studies class my last semester in college for my sociology minor, which studies all of the different types of sexuality. And that's how I learned what bisexuality was. And I was like, oh my God, that's me. All this time I've been that. I was convinced that I was the only person in the world that was attracted to men and women. I thought something was wrong with me. My experience with boys growing up and men today, I never fit in with anybody. I come from a small town that's all about sports and being like this really tough, like alpha male type of guy, and I was not that. I'm the kind of person where I could be anything that I put my mind to, but I have to want to do it. I was never into football or basketball. My brain wanted me to be because that's what everyone else is doing, but my heart was like, you don't want to do that. Why are you here? How do I know I am bisexual and not gay? Like, there's no point in lying or being in denial at this point in my life. I'm very transparent. I'm very open. Does the criticism affect me? And by criticism, it's like, you know, the biphobia, like people who say that bisexuals like are really gay. I'd be lying if I said it didn't necessarily affect me still. I have just built a tolerance, a high tolerance for it. And it's not very constant anymore. It's really when you go on social media and you see like the homophobia, the biphobia of people saying these things. I know that there's so many people in the world that don't feel that way, who don't care about your sexuality. Were there any representation for me growing up? No. It was just confusing because like as a little boy, I loved Barbie growing up. My family was always concerned about that. They thought that I wanted to look like Barbie. They thought that I wanted to be a girl when in reality, I was just attracted to Barbie. Like I wanted Barbie to be my girlfriend. But at the same time, I would play with Barbies, but I also had like G.I. Joes. And I was attracted to him too because back then they made G.I. Joe fine. He wasn't all rugged and stuff like how they make him now. He was given a more buff Ken back then. He had the little hair curl that fell right here. Like they made him really sexy. So I'd be playing with him and Barbie and I'd be thinking to myself like, I want both of you. Is dating girls intimidating? Yeah, it's like I always have this fear to back my mind, like what if a girl rejects me because I'm bisexual, because it's nothing to hide, but at the same time, it's not a handicap. Like, I feel like I shouldn't tell a girl on the first date, like, well, before we proceed, I'm bisexual, is that okay? Because I feel like that insinuates that I want an open relationship, and that's just not true. I mean, I'm not gonna ask you what type of exes that you have, and that's not gonna determine if I want you or not. So at the end of the day, like the right people who are meant to be in your life will be in your life. But of course, like no one wants to waste their time. No one wants to get their feelings hurt. I've never been in a relationship with anybody before. Talking to girls are more intimidating than guys because in the back of my mind, am I gonna be too feminine? Like, is she gonna think that I'm, you know, gay? Or all these things that go through my mind that have just been engraved in me from society that I know like isn't true. If she is that kind of person, then she can kick rocks. How has moving back to Mississippi affected me? It's like a spiritual journey because I find myself becoming who I was before I moved away from here. In a sense, not completely. Before I left here, I wanted to live my life in many ways, not just sexuality, but I wanted to just live my life and be free and express myself, and I knew I couldn't do that here. That's a whole nother video within itself. Why move back to Mississippi if family does not accept me? So, my family loves me. They tolerate me. They love the idea of me. And I'm a masculine guy, but not to them or to my small town. I've always considered myself like more feminine, but when I go to LA and New York, like people don't think that. Like I don't give gay vibes, well, to most people. So that was a shock to me. I'm like, what? I've always just accepted that I was just like, you know, one of the girls. And I definitely have my moments where I can be. Do I accept myself? I'm learning to. 90% is still loading to 100%. When you don't have anybody around you that understands you, when you've been constantly ostracized your whole life for being you and being different, I have to learn to love myself. I do love myself, but I still find myself having to remind myself about it, or like pick myself up off the ground sometimes. But then I remind myself, like, you're amazing. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's okay. You know, there's so many different types of men in this world. There's no one type of man. You're fine. Why is my mother afraid for my life and soul? Because we grew up Christian and Bible Belt. And so deep down, she's afraid that I'm going to hell. She's afraid that someone is going to kill me in a hate crime. I hope no one tries to hurt me, but bring the fuck on, because you better believe it ain't gonna be easy. If someone was to try to hurt me, it would be more than just, oh, well, because he's gay or because he's queer. I feel guilty when sleeping with men. I've only been with 2 men in my entire life sexually. Well, the first time, I wasn't all that attracted to the guy. Like, he was attractive, but he wasn't my type. He was younger and immature, but it was during like COVID, and this is gonna sound crazy, but I was convinced that the world was ending. And I was like, I am not dying a virgin. So we got it popping, and it hurt, so you can pretty much guess. I identify as verse, but I bottom at the time for gay terminology, and it hurt my first time doing it. And I didn't tell him that I had never done it before, so he didn't know. He probably wouldn't have cared. He was a douchebag. But the whole time I was just praying to God. I was just like, oh my gosh, I'm never doing this again. It hurts, and oh my gosh, like, you know, please don't send me to hell for doing this. Like the whole time. Then the second time, he was so nice, but I wasn't really into him either. I was just like, okay, let me just have fun, because Toni Braxton said that she wishes that she had more fun dating-wise when she was young. And I don't know why that stuck with me. So I was like, yeah, like, let me just go out here and have a little fun sometimes. It's okay to have fun. So I like hooked up with this guy, and I did not enjoy it. Because the whole time I felt guilty. And guilty for being with a guy, and also too, I'm one of those people where like, if I'm not where I want to be in life, I'm not going to be like dating and having sex, because at the time I was broke. I was like behind on my rent, living in a shithole, rat hole apartment in LA. And I just was not confident, not physically, but just confident life-wise. And I felt guilty because I'm like, why am I having sex when I should be out here grinding? And also because like, okay, this is a guy like, you know, like, oh my gosh, am I going to hell for this? How would my father feel about me now? And I would ask myself that a lot, because my dad passed away in a car accident in 2008. I was 13. When he passed away, years later, after I came out of the closet, I hate that term, my uncle told me that my dad knew, because one day my dad confided in him about it, but he was just like, yeah, like, I think Tyler's gay, like, you know, but he basically was like, but I'm gonna be there for him, I love him, like, I hope he's not, but if he is, like, oh well, because I always wondered, like, should I even miss him? Because if he was still alive, would he even accept me? And the answer is yes. So, wanting acceptance, I mean, deep down, yes, but when I say that, not from everyone. It's more like wanting to attract everything and everyone who is meant to be in my life. Why do I consider myself as a child of God and not a Christian? Because that's a whole nother video within itself. Oh my gosh, but this growing up Christian, you know, I always felt like I didn't belong there, because the preacher always preached about like people like me were going to hell and there was no hope for us. I think the Bible is not at its purest form that it was in the beginning. I think that throughout the years and centuries that the Bible has been altered by man, and that there are parts taken out, parts added in, words twisted around by man to make society fall in line. I think that God loves me and God has been with me this entire time. I believe that Jesus died for my sins, but I also take the Bible with a grain of salt. So why do alpha men make me uncomfortable? Because like the alpha males have always made my life hard growing up. Because alpha men, I've noticed, they want to be like the leader of the pack, and when anyone threatens that, they have to like demonize you. Like in high school, for example, it's one thing to have people jealous of you, but it's another thing when like the most popular person is jealous of you, because they're gonna turn the entire school against you because everyone wants them to like them. So yeah. Ever slept with a female? If not, why? I've never been with a girl. I'm gonna go ahead and keep it real. I don't have the confidence to like hit on a girl. I always just feel like she's not gonna like me. She's gonna think that I'm just one of the girls, like, you know, so I end up always being like the best friend to like the baddest bitches. But you know, one day I'm healing, I'm getting there. Is bisexuality a phase for me? Or is it a transition to coming out of the closet as gay? Again, I said this in the beginning of the video. No, I'm very transparent. Like, I have no reason to lie. Like, I done got this far, why not just keep it real? My family already expected me to be gay anyways, and they don't even believe that I'm bisexual. So why not just, it'd be one thing if nobody saw it coming, but everyone expected me to be gay, so why not just say, yeah, I am, you know? Do I struggle with being myself on social media? Yes. I still don't know what kind of presence I want to give off to the world, let alone social media. And for me, it's just a comfort to just like, I ain't gonna say be more feminine, but there's so many levels to me that I have not shown social media. And so my go-to is just being like that wild, I guess, kind of flamboyant guy or whatever. And that is a version of me, but not the only. But TikTok now and all these other social medias, YouTube, etc., Instagram, about know who your audience is. I just have to be myself. Like, if I think that way while I'm making content, it's not gonna be authentic, because I'm gonna be catering to someone that probably like ain't even checking for me, because I'm thinking that's who I'm supposed to be reaching out to, when in reality, you just have to be yourself. It took me a while to accept that I like gay porn. Gay porn is hot. And then it took me a while to actually like bisexual porn, because for a long time, bisexual porn just confused me. When it's like two guys and one girl, the guys are blowing each other and the girl is like, you know, licking the other guy's balls. I was just kind of confused. I'm like, wait, I'm still programmed to think that girls are not attracted to that, but there are girls out here who think guy on guy is very hot, and there's nothing wrong with them. When I was in LA, for example, literally like the baddest bitches are either bisexual or they don't care about who you were with before you met them. They're that confident in themselves. It depends on where you are in life. Like, I was modeling in LA and in the entertainment industry in LA, and I still am. I'm just not living there right now, but everyone's beautiful, and well, you know, society's standards are beautiful, and like it's very confident in themselves. So I'm not worried about you cheating on me. Like, look at me, you know what I'm saying? You know, like, I can find somebody else. Like, that's your loss. As opposed to like an average America, you know, more people are insecure in themselves, and they already kind of look for the other person that they're with, regardless of how straight they are, to cheat on them. So they're expected to be cheated on, but they're just thinking like, you're not finna cheat on me with no man. It really depends on the people you surround yourself with, but you also have to find these people. So I get focused on straight thoughts. My mom would always say this: well, if you're not gay, then you would just focus on like the straight thoughts. You wouldn't be like doing both. It doesn't work like that. Like, why would I miss out on my soulmate just because I like girls too? And then people have this unrealistic expectation that bisexual people are unfaithful, when in reality, like, that's just society today. Everyone's cheating, no one's faithful, no one's getting married for the right reasons. Dating sucks today. We just have more options in the single world. My soulmate could be a guy, my soulmate could be a girl. I could have a girlfriend right now and 9 months later have a boyfriend. The fish in the sea for me is just twice as big as opposed to a straight person. But thank you guys so much. I really hope this isn't all over the place. If you have any questions or suggestions for new videos, new content, please leave a comment down below and give it a like and subscribe. And thank y'all so much for being my friends, and I hope y'all have a blessed day.